Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the She Ascends Circle Lounge. I am Danielle Calhoun, your host, and today I have my co-host Behati Hart with me today. Kay Ray is busy doing art things and making things happen, so we will miss her, but she'll be back. Today we're continuing our Women's Health series with an important conversation about gut health. So now when people hear the words gut health, they often think only about digestion. But gut health impacts you so much more than that. It affects your mood, your energy, your hormones, your sleep, even your emotional wellness. Many women are silently struggling with the symptoms that they've normalized for years. So, Behati, do you think women have become disconnected from listening to their bodies? And why do you think that happens?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'm gonna make this about me because I don't want to judge. We listen and we don't judge. But I have to say, as I approached the age of 50, I started to notice that my body, the foods that I was eating, the richness of Popeye's chicken, and just some of the foods that I was naturally eating, because I have a good metabolism, my body was rejecting. It was feeling sluggish. I was having some incontinence or the other things. And so we tend to, as a society, I know this happens to my family often. It's we're hungry, but we're too lazy to cook. So what's nearby? We'll go get some fast food, right? Not thinking that we could be making a healthier choice for ourselves. And so we just kind of get into this repetitive, well, I've always eaten this and I've always done this. And we don't listen to our bodies, especially women, when we are designed intuitively to listen to our bodies. For those of us who have been able to bear children and become mothers, we know what it feels like to listen to our bodies because there's someone in there baking. But something happens along the way and we just, right, and we just disconnect from it and we keep going with the rigmarole until health starts to become an issue. At 45, I got a colonoscopy. Thankfully, everything was fine. But there were some things going on with me where I was like, oh shoot, I need to start paying attention to what's going on because, as you said, that affects everything else. So since the age of 45, I've been trying to be better at it. Am I great at it? Absolutely not. I've been having a burger thing lately. But what I'm trying to do is make healthier choices, portion control, or maybe not eat the whole burger with a bun, maybe just eat it like a salad, right? But we have to listen to our bodies, especially as we get older, because it is definitely communicating something's wrong. And I'll be damned if I end up with stomach cancer or something like that.
Right, right, yeah. I mean, it's such an important point because, so many women, we've just learned to push through the discomfort instead of slowing down and listening. So, just on the note of what is gut health, in case someone's watching and they're like, what are they talking about? One thing I do want women to understand is this: your body is always communicating. So symptoms are information, things like bloating, fatigue, cravings, brain fog, digestive discomfort, anxiety. Hello, hello, hello,
Bubble
hello,
guts.
hello, all of that. They're not random. The gut is often called the second brain because of the powerful connection between the digestive system and the nervous system. So I'm coming to you with this question. What are some signs that you think women often ignore because they think it's just normal or it's just stress?
Oh, everything you just labeled. For me, it's gas, bubble guts, even not having an appetite. That's something that has been baffling me lately. It's I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. Or else when I am hungry, it's a ravenous hunger, right? Like I said, I've been having this burger thing. I need Five Guys. But even then, it's I only take a couple bites, and I'm I just needed a couple bites.
Yeah.
And so paying attention to, like you said, our body is communicating with us. Our body keeps the score. All the narratives that are out there. Yep. The information is out there to complement what we're experiencing before we go to the doctor. And that's the other thing too that I learned is you do have to be a self-advocate of what's going on with your body. Yeah. There are apps out there where you can track what you're eating, when you're eating it, and so forth. And I've even tried to, incorporate the supplements like Metamucil and probiotics to try to balance things out, because that has been my issue.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely, well, I would say, personally, I would say it's the third brain. But right now, science is saying it's the second brain. But there are three brain systems. There are three systems in our body that are communicating. First is the heart sending the signals to the brain.
Yeah.
The brain is sending the signals to the gut.
Yeah.
And so they're all working coherently. So you have to imagine, when I do my soul work, it's like, okay, why do I feel, then think, and then crave or desire? And that's how I try to remain in balance with things. Yeah. But you answer that question, because that was a good question.
And, again, like many women, like we don't realize that even small symptoms can be like indicators that, our body needs support. And so, going in a little bit more kind of about like that gut and brain connection. I agree with you. I believe the heart is the first, but just in this context, and I know that's probably more
for the newbies.
What people have heard, that the gut's the second, the brain and the gut.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's constant communication happening, as you just said, like between the gut, the brain, and the heart, and that means like stress can impact digestion. I know that all too well. Digestion can impact mood and emotional wellness. And in fact, like a large percentage of serotonin is produced in the gut.
Yep.
And so.
And what does serotonin do for the kids in the back?
Right.
Because listen, we throw out all these big terms and words,
Yeah.
but it's like, what does that mean for me? How does that impact me? Why should I know what that is?
Yeah. Yeah. I personally, and it was like my question to you is like, how you've noticed, and you talked a little bit about it at first, like how maybe stress has affected your energy or the appetite or the digestion. I mean, it all happens for me. I have had digestive problems going on, or issues or situations since I was a child. Always had a problem. I could not be, regular, and some of it was probably, my love for cheese as a child, but it would get so bad that, like literally trying to go where it was almost crying, And so, and then as I got older, I tried to, you still doing whatever, but there was just always a thing. And I was always so envious of people that like had a regular, they had a regular movement and everything. And because it's like, I'd get to a point if I couldn't, I was so miserable. And then I couldn't eat because I couldn't get out what was in there from before. And it's just horrible. And having a lot of issues, pains hurting in my side and things like that, like into my 30s and 40s and, even into my 50s. And so I still have to take things to try to maintain somewhat of a normal system. But, I was diagnosed with IBS-C. So it's like, what, like what we're going to do today,
Yeah.
and it's bad, and it kicks up because, more so when I'm under stress and things like that. And so, it's not fun.
No, I have a few friends that have IBS too, and I'm like, man, I am the one that's regular, and so my heart goes out to folks who have issues with their colon, issues with their stomach, and all those things, because I've not had those types of issues. I've had, just poor diet. Like some of the things that I grew up eating, I can't eat them anymore because, again, they're too rich. Like even me and my husband, we were talking the other day, eating something unhealthy, and we're like, gosh, it's so salty or it's so greasy. It's like, ugh. Your taste buds almost start to change as you get older too. What I find fascinating though about the body is that when we're sick, our body naturally fasts. I've had a regular digestive system for the most part, but there was a moment when I was having some issues and I was paying attention to it. And my husband and I were talking the other day about how our taste buds have changed, and just, again, the way things hit our system just makes us feel differently. Yeah. And I was saying, what I find so fascinating about the human body and the systems that operate who we are is that when you're sick, your body naturally fasts. Or when you're stressed, your body naturally fasts.
Yeah.
And I've had a hard time just like fasting. Like my body's like, oh, we're gonna die. I'm like, no, we're not, girl. We're just going to 12-hour fast. So I've had to introduce fasting. A few years ago, I started intermittent fasting to allow my body to process through the digestive system process overnight, because sometimes I'll stay up till midnight and then next thing you know I'm reaching for something that's not great. you know
Yeah.
but I learned about, when I started going through perimenopause, I learned about intermittent fasting from Dr. Mindy Peltz, and dynamic information from her just about women's health and menopause and the diets and all the things. And I was like, man, we are amazing machines.
Yeah.
We are amazing
Yeah.
machines.
Yeah. And I mean, it kind of takes me into now, like, about normalizing, like, being exhausted. Like, so many women, like, we're eating while multitasking. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
guilty of it, and I still am. I try not to, but sometimes you just can't help it. Like, the time. My thing is, like, every minute of my day pretty much is like accounted for. Like, I don't have I don't have any extra second, and I don't like that. Rushing constantly, being emotionally overwhelmed, hello, functioning on stress, and maybe
Yeah.
even caffeine. And, eventually, like you said, then the body starts asking for that attention.
Yeah.
And I mean, why do you think that, women normalize exhaustion instead of addressing that?
Oh, because we're programmed to. We are, society programs us. I was just listening to something about building wealth. And the gal was saying, like, we are programmed a certain way as women to do things that are acceptable by society. And anytime we go against the grain, society rejects us, silences us, dismisses us. Like, we're not the intelligent beings.
Yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
but we, dang, I lost my train of thought. See, that's what happens when you're going through perimenopause.
That's all right. As long as it wasn't
Repeat
the
the question.
video.
Repeat the question. Repeat. Oh, you were asking,
Why
like,
do we
women.
normalize?
Why do
What do
we?
you think women?
Why do we
Yeah,
normalize?
exhaustion instead of addressing
Why do
it.
we normalize exhaustion? Because we are in a hustle culture.
Yeah,
And I was just having a dynamic conversation with my AI about this, because there's times when it's like quiet, and I'm
yeah,
like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong with my business development. She's like, girl, have several seats. Okay.
yeah,
You're supposed to rest. The way my brain and my body is set up, I need time to rest. And when it's quiet, that's okay. Because that's literally the universe telling you, sit your ass down.
right.
But we push ourselves to exhaustion
Yep,
because we are naturally nurturers,
yep,
givers, doers, solution focused. Like,
yeah,
that's who we have been designed to be as women, but
yeah,
also how society accepts us. And so
yep.
that's why we burn ourselves out.
We do. I mean, we're kind of taught, it's in our mind that rest equals weakness or being
Yes.
lazy or something. So that's why we're always in this. I need to be doing something. I need to be doing something. Or okay, well, yeah, I got this little window. I mean, I'm guilty of this, and I got to get it together. I got this little window of time, so I can fit this in here, or I can do this real quick.
Always
Or
want to
do
stuff a
that.
box.
Right, and it's like and it's so that mindset impacts our health as well.
Totally. It's
And
a survival mindset. It stems from a belief about our safety systems. And this is why that mindfulness is so important to gut health. It is
yeah,
so important to that,
yeah,
because you have to understand the programming of your mind. And
yeah,
I believe personally, because I've never done a diet program, but I
yeah,
know people who have.
yeah,
And the good ones, in my opinion, will work with you through mindset and shifting your beliefs about the foods that you eat. That will cause more sustainability in the dieting
hmm,
versus just like quick wins, right? Like, I need to lose 10 pounds, so I'm gonna do Weight Watchers. Like, that's not the
yeah,
goal, babe. But okay, love that
yeah.
for you.
And then you lose
Good
it,
luck with that.
you go back to your same things, and then and then comes back, and then they want to know why it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it has to be definitely a lifestyle change,
Yeah.
and it is about the foods, but there's so many other things involved as well, and
Another thing about exhaustion is food is fuel. And when we
yeah,
know enough about the types of foods that give us fuel, because there is generic food pyramid, and don't even get me started about the food pyramid being inverted. Like, can we just Are we okay? Are we okay? Are we okay? There are foods that will naturally give you the energy, like fuel. But what I am working on doing right now is collaborating with a nutritionist to find out what exactly those things are, because everybody don't like broccoli and not everybody can have nuts.
I
So
can't
what are
do
the
it.
right? And so
It
what are the
doesn't agree
foods?
with me.
Exactly. So it's so important if you can access a nutritionist who can test your blood and test your
Mhm.
weight and understand your dietary habits to really curate something and design it for who you are, how your system works. Because not every car runs on the same fuel,
Right,
right?
right. Nope, exactly. That's a good point that people should understand that a lot of times you think, oh, well, eat this, but right, not everyone can
Mm.
do that.
Yeah.
Like that broccoli, like I mean, I like it, but I got to be real careful with it because I'll be feeling like afterwards, and her
Yes.
and laying
Yes.
down, leaned over my stomach
Yep.
hurting and everything. So yeah, I just like I have to be careful with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I mean, this has been a great start to this segment. So
Yes.
this week I want the listeners to start beginning to pay attention. Kind of like notice how your body feels after meals. Notice your stress levels, your energy, your digestion, your sleep, because awareness is the beginning of healing. So I have one last question for you, Bahati. What's one simple thing that women can begin doing this week to become more connected to their bodies?
Oh, I always say breathe. I really do. But here's the thing that I do every morning, and I've done this for like the last 2 years, is I I take a glass of water in the morning, a nice cold glass of water, and I honor it. Now there is a science behind this, right? There is a spiritual science and a physical science and all the sciences. But water is a conduit for information.
Mm-hmm.
It receives information. The
Yeah,
scientists have proven this.
yeah.
And so what I do is I pray over it and I ask it to cleanse me from anything that I had last night that I shouldn't have had. But I have like a communion with the water that's returning to my body, because my body is about 60-70% water anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm giving this liquid magic permission to heal me. And
Yeah.
it just creates a relationship with my body, reestablishes that relationship with my body. And so drink a glass of water every morning. It's like when you got to take a shower, why not rinse the insides out?
Right. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna try to remember, but I want to start doing that. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, well, if this episode resonated with you, share it with another woman who may need this conversation. And as I always say, whatever feels good for your soul, do that. And we'll see
Yeah.
you next week for part 2 of our gut series.